This young Muaz was named after his father, who came to settle in a small town called Boso in Paiko from Sokoto State and built an empire that gave rise to this brilliant elder statesman. Today, on Heroes of Abuja, we bring you the historical account of none other than His Excellency, the former governor of Niger State, Dr. Muaz Babangida Aliyu.
My father, who was the son of Muaz left Sokoto after the contest by the colonial power of Sokoto, and he was curious to know or to see the Europeans working under the Lokoja. He traveled from Sokoto to Lokoja, later to Sokoto, and then came back to Togo and stayed for a while at Togo. As he was preparing to go back to Sokoto, the chief of Boso, which is now almost one family now, Boso, the chief of Boso requested the chief of Togo that he had a very good man there, who's getting to send that man to help him open his market and the mosque. And he left Paiko for Boso. As he arrived at Boso, after doing what he wanted to do, the Europeans also had arrived at that same place. And because he was the only one who could read Ajami, which is the Arabic, the Hausa, in Arabic, they used him in reading the letters to other chiefs around.
Growing up as a child from the royal family, Muaz Babangida Aliyu, also known as Talban Mina, had a life that was both influential and transformative. Let's explore his early life journey. Born on November 12, 1955 in Mina, Niger State, Nigeria, Muaz Babangida Aliyu attended the College of Arts and Arabic Studies in Sokoto, graduating in 1974. He furthered his education by obtaining the National Certificate in Education from the College of Education, Sokoto, in 1977. His pursuit of knowledge led him to Bayero University, Kano, where he earned a BA in Education in 1983, and subsequently he pursued higher studies at the University of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, United States, earning a PhD in Public Policy and Strategic Studies in 1989.
I was weaned by my grandmother, so my first, the first 3 years as the children used to be before the weaning, then I was taken to my grandmother, who is the same grandfather that I talked about. And I was there for about 4 years or 5, and then had to come back to Mina to start schooling. And I started school, I was born November 12, 1955. I started school January 1963. At that time you have to use your hand to catch your other side of the ear before you. So if you are short or something, you cannot do it. You may be older, and then most of the people who could catch their ears. We started actually classroom under the tree in a central primary school. But one time when the Central Sokoto, the premier, was coming to Mina, they built a fat classroom for us so that he could not see us under the tree. And he came and he saw us in our classroom at the time. And that's when I started paying attention to, maybe I shouldn't say politics because I didn't understand politics.
Dr. Muaz Babangida Aliyu completed his final year at Bayero University, Kano. This marked a crucial phase in his life, setting the stage for his future endeavors. A clarion call from his people prompted him to contest for the House of Representatives. This decision marked the beginning of his political career. Notably, he made history in Niger State through his political endeavors. However, the election were annulled by the military that took over in 1993.
I went to Bayero University in Kano. That was in 1980 and finished in 1983. Then I had a delegation while at the university that came to me to say that they had decided I must come to contest for the House of Representatives in 1983. And I reasoned that if I was having my examination and my desire was to have a high grade, going to campaign at the same time that I should would affect it. But then when I talked to my father about it, all he said was, look, they came to you, you didn't ask. I said, yes, sir. And now, if you refuse, then the time will come when you will look for them and they will remind you. And so I had to accept. I will write my exams, come to campaign, write my exam. I had to defeat an incumbent who was actually very popular and very much the late so I won the election at the end of the day. So I went to Lagos in 1983. But by December 30th or 31st, there was an announcement of coup against us. So I served for at least 3-4 months in the House of Representatives in 1983.
Dr. Muazu held various significant positions during his civil service tenure. His contributions extended to serving as the Permanent Secretary of FCTA. His expertise and leadership spanned different federal civil service departments and ministries.
Where you can begin to talk of achievements, yes, ministries like transport, FCT, and national plan. I was posted to Ministry of Transport as Director of Maritime Services, and there were about 8 parastatals, including MPA, current NIMASA. In fact, we engineered the change from NMA, from Maritime Authority, to NIMASA, and then the MPA making sure it was working smoothly, and then the training institutions and the dock workers and the so there you can pinpoint and say, we did this, we did that, we did that. But in presidency, it's difficult to say, I achieved this or I did not achieve. And after, it was when I was Director of Maritime Services, that I was appointed Permanent Secretary. My first posting was to sports. And that was the time that we organized the under 17 something sports that should be 1985. That's around 1999. And but I didn't stay there long because immediately after the election of President Obasanjo, our appointments were withdrawn, all the permanent secretaries.
He was among the committee that led to the establishment of the FCT. Later, after their establishment, he was appointed as the Permanent Secretary of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, and he made it a priority to enhance the quality of education across all area councils and beyond. His experience in this endeavor was significant, aiming to improve access to education, raise academic standards, and ensure equitable opportunities for all residents of the FCT.
So when I became the Permanent Secretary, my interest in education forced me to have to go and visit all the local governments. And was I disappointed? Terribly so. Because here we were in the city, in the main city. Everything going fine. Private schools, even public schools looking good. But at the local government level, things were terribly bad. You wouldn't tell somebody that you are in LCT until today. There are some villages that no road to there. We started work on them. But when Obasanjo came, he gave every minister specific instructions of what he expected to do. So that guided and that included most of the trees that you see in Abuja. They were planted mostly during our time. We made sure all the local governments had regular meetings for them to know and understand what they should be doing in their own local area.
The beautiful capital city you see today followed a very strict town planning blueprint, and this achievement was realized during his active service years in office. This meticulous urban planning approach laid the foundation for the well-organized and aesthetically pleasing layout of the city, contributing to its modern and vibrant atmosphere.
Getting FCT was to create a political capital that would not have the encumbrances of the, like we say, traffic, population, and what have you. And in fact, it wasn't for the FCT purpose, it was for the intergovernmental purpose that we traveled to about 6 countries where they also built. We went to Canada, we went to US, we went to Brazil, we went to India, and we went to Australia. I think the 2 countries that have succeeded in retaining their capital as political capital is both Brazil and Australia. Canberra is still the typical how they wanted it, how it was planned. On a weekend, you will discover that there is nothing moving unless the hotels, because everybody will have gone back where they have been designated to stay. The Brasilia too, in Brazil, or they still retain some semblance of the political capital. But the problem with Abuja or FCT is that in the planning, initially we say 500,000, then 1 million, 2 million, but I don't think we have planned it to really capture that population. Indeed, if you're going to take a census of FCT, it is likely to be about 3 point something to 4 million. That wasn't planned for. And the original plan too was that there should be no indigenous people. Everybody here was supposed to have been compensated, and he would decide where to move.
For Dr. Muazu to have a success story to tell during his tenure, he encountered various obstacles but tackled them with resilience, determination, and strategic planning, ultimately leaving behind a legacy of progress and development.
The mandate to demolish came, and I was a little disturbed because of the nature. Somebody would show you he has satisfied all the righteous men. All the approvals were genuinely given for him to do what he did. And today, you are telling him you're going to demolish it out without compensation. To me, at that time, it was terrible. In fact, I had to write to my father. I said, this was the assignment given to us. He said, well, when you are doing it, were you happy that you are breaking somebody's heart? How could I be? If I were happy, if I was not happy, I would not come to you now asking you to do it. Is there any person that you had in mind that maybe you would be happy to have his house demolished? He said, no, I didn't know many of them. It's okay. You are told to do, you are in a job. But the day you personalize it, God, you will see the wrath of God. As of now. With that advice, to think and start. But like I said, even before, after Abagagan, when Nelson Erifai came, I had to advise that, look, let's get the president to initiate this so that the whole world will know that it is not you, Minister Babangida Ali, who is doing or going beyond his mandate. And we got to go to that. And in fact, we got him to visit FCT, meaning, don't take it for granted that because you are in Abuja, we were also an administration, even though directly under him. Visit us like we visit other states. And we did. And we had all the Ghana and the people of Abuja were very happy that the president had wasted their time.
From the Federal Capital Territory Administration, Talban Mina was posted to the National Planning Commission, where he gained a deeper understanding of the government planning system. This experience further honed his skills in strategic planning and policy implementation. It's evident that he rose from the base to the level of permanent secretary of the FCTA, leaving an indelible blueprint in making strategic government policies, implementing them effectively, and establishing institutions such as the Bureau of Statistics. These significant contributions have played a crucial role in shaping the FCT into what it is today, among other accomplishments, ensuring sustainable development and efficient governance.
From the Federal Capital Territory, I was posted to National Planning Commission. And that was where I really saw that, yes, we are not planning. Because by the time I arrived there, the Planning Commission was virtually comatose. Only the permanent secretary was there. It was when I was in the National Planning Commission that we bought office for the Bureau of Statistics, which is actually coming from the airport. Because they are also renting here. You cannot afford to have a whole, because the Bureau of Statistics will always have planners with facts and figures on the ground, and that they live to be settled properly. So if that's an achievement too, I see it as one of them.
His last bus stop as a civil service officer was the head of service office. In addition to that long career journey, another milestone achievement of his life set in.
From Ministry of Transport, I was posted to the head of service office, which was the establishment and pension. In the olden days, the most senior permanent secretary is normally because you have to assist the head of service also in making sure that things are you are in charge of the establishment, meaning all those employees and co and the pension of those who are there. As I was there, I don't think I spent 3 months there. Then I was drafted to go and contest for government.
Again, at the state level, Dr. Muazu Babangida Aliyu made significant contributions during his tenure as the executive governor of Niger State. His leadership left a lasting impact, and his policies aimed at improving the lives of Niger State residents, fostering economic growth, and enhancing social services.
Niger State has 25 local governments with 274 wards, meaning we have now, with election, there will be 274 councillors, because each ward produces a councillor. And I went to some wards during the campaign where I discovered that they know nothing about government. None of their children was in government. And for them, government is something miraculous out there. So I said, let me introduce the fourth tier of governance, which I called at that time World Development Projects. And I asked them to appoint 7 people, 2 or 3 of which must be women. And each word, they mean, and every local community, they know the honest people among them, they know who is deceiving who and what have you. So that saved me a lot, because the people became very, very committed. Every month I would give them money and I said, do what you want to do. We will not tell you what to do. You at the local level, do it.
Dr. Muazu exemplified unwavering dedication and commitment to public service. His tireless efforts did not go unnoticed, however, received several prestigious awards in recognition of his contributions. Among these, the most significant ones include:
there was a magazine that came to me with a budget of 20 million to give me an award. I said, tell me that I'm purchasing the award. And from that time, for me, newspapers and co, I said no. And when you see the people, all these newspapers and co are awarded, you will notice that they are very high, rich people. So they can afford that. For me, an organization, a non-governmental organization, but most importantly, the academia. I have received an honorary PhD from Abia State University and from Federal University of Technology, MENA. And for me, and then the lectures and the awards at the lectures have virtually, I think there is no state that I've not gone to give a lecture here for this reason, for that reason. So, if you go, yes, I have them, and if you go to my library, the whole bigger than this place is filled up with the award. But for me, these are the ones that I know. I am my be in the classroom, so no matter how many you give me honorary, it's just an award.
Dr. Muazu Babangida Aliyu was fortunate to have a strong support system in his family. Their unwavering encouragement, sacrifices, and belief in his vision undoubtedly played a crucial role in his remarkable accomplishments.
He follows his family, understand each other, and he's very caring, and he's even won't have no misunderstanding. He knows how to settle, he knows how to he knows how to settle a problem. And also to his children of discipline. Okay, he's very friendly. We're very friendly to his children, most especially the boys. He sees them as his brothers. They talk one and they interact with each other, and he counsels and I give them all advice that's supposed to give them.
Very courageous, understanding, principled, and someone with good character. He had all the time for us growing up, and he was a very cool father, very religious and very peaceful. We never had any struggles growing up with him.
Everyone that knows my dad knows that he's a very simple person. He's someone that almost everyone can interact with. So if everyone can interact with him, then obviously as his kids, it's the easiest thing in the world. There's no one easier for me to talk to. There's no sort of like shyness when I'm talking to him. He's my father. He's always been there. He's always been available for me whenever I needed him.
Daga so har ƴaƴansu har jikoki ina turba musu asiri ina da lafiya ƴaƴan ma Allah ya sa su yi halayensa.
In the course of our production, his good friend, former governor of Katsina State, Shehu Shema, also came around.
You cannot rise to that level if you don't have the quality and the capacity to do the responsibility that God and the government has placed on the shoulders. And then on top of that, after serving in that capacity as a civil servant, he moved on to be governor of the state. And I'm sure the Niger people know pretty well, like earlier said, the kind of contribution he has made in his governance of the state for it.
His parting words of advice to improve the overall advancement of the FCT.
Consistency in planning is very important. I told you about Brasilia and Kemba, meaning that you need to enforce the laws of the place. Funding. FCT, like I said, has a window of Nigeria. Must be well funded to ensure that wherever you move in the Federal Capital Territory, that yes, it will still remain or retain the name of Federal Capital Territory. Not to just move 2 kilometers out and then you think you are in a remote area or village. The school system must be the best in the country. Electricity. I believe that even without the full funding, that if you get some investors to give 24 hours of light to FCT, you will make your money and you make profit.
In addition, the former governor didn't leave the guidance of the youth as well in his final words.
You can only advise the youth to say, please and please try very hard, be ambitious enough to make it. Do not run into taking drugs or illegal things. Do not become an almajiri, do not become a thief. Try to see that you have enough education to survive. But to the guardians, because they are the ones who are responsible. And if you go back to our discussion where we said the average age of Nigeria is 20 years old. If we do not do the right thing, by the time they take over, we will have ignorant group of people taking over what they cannot handle. So we must all play our parts.
Talban Mina, the former governor, Dr. Muazu Babangida Aliyu's life journey exemplifies resilience, dedication, and service. From humble beginnings to becoming a prominent figure in Nigerian politics, he left a lasting impact on Niger State and the Federal Capital Territory. His family played a crucial role in his success. His legacy inspires future generations to strive for greatness and serve humanity. That is why he is celebrated as one of the heroes of Abuja.